Hello guys, this is Joyce from Enjoy Scrapping 2. Welcome to the second part of Gelatos for Card Maker series. Today I'll be making this for Tupelo Designs LLC. The stamp set that I'll be using today is this Stampendous stamp set. This is a jumbo, one of the jumbo collection. I really love the jumbo collection and I have quite a good collection of them because it's large and it's very fun to color. So here I have the stamp set along with the coordinating dies, and this dies is very good because it has 3 dies, so you can pop up the poinsettias to make it into more of a dimensional look. And the die is it cuts right on the black line, leaving no white space, which is good. So today we'll be using the gelatos to color, and it is very fast and simple, so you can definitely mass produce this. So I'm showing you some samples. That stamp set is not the Stampendous stamp set. So let's go ahead and take out the stamps. Stampendous is their jumbo collection of the stamps. Majority of them come with the free stencil, so which is very good. So you're going to get the stencil to match that stamp set. So don't throw this away. And let's get started. So this is a very large stamp, so I'm using my Fiskars stamp press, and I'm using the archival jet black ink. This is a watercolor piece of cardstock, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp 4 of them. It's beautiful stamp set with a lot of details, but I'm only going to be needing the flower portion, so it's okay to overlap. So now that I have 4, I did 4 because you can easily color all 4 of them. I want to go ahead and do some embossing on this. This is Nina 80-pound cardstock, and I use the powder tool, EK Success powder tool, and I'm going to use the Versamark to stamp this down. And we'll emboss it using the Ranger's Liquid Platinum embossing powder. I'm making sure to cover all the areas. That's going to be our card front. And I'm using the Milwaukee heat gun. Make sure you heat set that heat up the gun before you bring it to the paper, and once the embossing starts to melt, go ahead and move it around, otherwise you're going to burn the paper because that's a very hot heat gun. So now that we have that ready, I have 3 gelatos here, but I'm only actually going to use 2. This is the red cherry gelatos, and so I'm basically just scribbling some colors. The center of the flower as well as the inner portion of the leaves. Doesn't have to be perfect because you can always go back and add more if you need to, which I do. And I have some water here. I'm not using a paintbrush, but you can. I'm going to go ahead and use my finger. I just need a little bit of moisture to liquefy a little bit of the gelatos. In here I'm using the tangerine gelatos, and I'm putting that at the tips of the flower. I want these poinsettias to be reddish orange, but I don't want it to be too orange, but that orange kind of gives a little bit more glow. So here I'm adding more red cherry gelatos. So I go back and forth several times to achieve the look I want, but you can see how easily you can color these flowers with these gelatos. Doesn't necessarily have to be flowers. So that tangerine gelato is going to give a little bit of a glow to the flower. And you can see the brightness of the colors. It's very bright. And if you get some on your lighter gelatos, go ahead and just use a towel or something, or a paper towel to wipe it off. So once you let this completely dry, it will be permanent. But until it's completely dried, if you rub on top of it, it will smear. So if you're in a rush, go ahead and spray a fixative. But I wasn't in a rush, so I waited. So I'm going to go ahead and do this to all three of the flowers. I'm bringing you in a little bit closer so that you can see it a little better. So you can see how easily it blends. You want your fingers to be slightly damped, and I wipe it off. I wipe the excess water off on a paper towel before I bring it, because I don't want to have too much water on my finger, just enough so that I can blend it out. So I always start with the center of the flower with my red cherry, and then add the tangerine toward the tip of the flower, and then I go back and forth to add more shadows, which will create more depth. So of course you can definitely cut the outer one and the middle one and the center one and create like a three-dimensional, but I'm not going to today. I'm going to show you how to create one card, but you can do the same with the other three cards. So it's a little challenging to get it lined up. And here I have a finger dauber, and I want to put some like a glowing look to the edges of the flower. So what I'm doing is I'm touching the flower and then bringing the color out of it. I'm using fossilized amber here. And because that flower is going to be covered up, it's okay that it looks messy on the inside, because only the outer portion is going to show. So now I brought out some distress markers. I tried the forest moss. It was too dark, so I went and grabbed